Hello, YouTube brothers and sisters. Welcome to my channel. Today we are visiting Philae, island in the Nile River near Aswan, Egypt. But, before that, kindly subscribe my channel. Philae is an island in the Nile River between the Old Aswan Dam and the Aswan High Dam, in Aswan, southern Egypt. Its ancient Egyptian name was Philae. The Coptic-derived name Purekar probably refers to its marking the boundary with Nubia. The conventional name Philae is Greek, but locally the site is known as Qiar al-Wujd, for a hero of the 1001 Nights. Before its gradual submergence in the reservoir created by the Old Aswan Dam after 1902, the alluvium-covered granite rock of Philae, 1,500 by 490 feet, had always been above the highest Nile floodings. Accordingly, it attracted many ancient temple and shrine builders. Philae, Abu Simbel, and other nearby ruins were collectively designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979. The Philae temple was built during the reign of Ptolemy II, who wanted to honor his wife, Arsinoe II, a goddess. He dedicated the temple to Isis, who was believed to be Arsinoe's protector and patron goddess. The temple was designed with intricate carvings and hieroglyphics depicting various Egyptian mythology stories. It also features statues of Isis, Osiris, Horus, and other gods and goddesses from Egyptian mythology. The Philae temple is an important symbol in Egyptian culture because it represents the power of Isis as a protector and patron goddess. In ancient Egypt, Isis was believed to be a powerful deity who could protect people from harm and bring them luck. She was also thought to be able to grant wishes and heal illnesses. As a result, many people would come to the temple seeking her help or protection. The importance of Isis in the pantheon of Egyptian gods spanned several centuries and transcended the dynasties of the pharaohs themselves. In fact, it continued with the Greek era and with some Roman emperors such as Augustus, Tiberius, Trajan, and Hadrian, who ordered to continue building more temples, sculptures and buildings in honor of the goddess of love and powerful magician, wife of Osiris and mother of Horus. In addition to being a place where people could come for spiritual guidance or protection, the Philae temple also served as a place for religious ceremonies and festivals honoring Isis. During these festivals, priests performed rituals meant to honor her power and bring good luck or prosperity into people's lives. This made it an important part of ancient Egyptian culture for centuries until its popularity declined during Roman times when Christianity began spreading throughout Egypt. Today, the Philae temple remains an important symbol in Egyptian culture because it honors Isis' power as a protector and patron goddess. It is still visited by tourists who come to marvel at its beauty and learn about its history as well as by those seeking spiritual guidance or protection from Isis' power. For this reason, it is often referred to as the Temple of Isis by those familiar with its history or significance within Egyptian culture. The obelisk has also inspired many modern monuments worldwide, including Cleopatra's Needle in London and New York City's Central Park obelisk, also known as Cleopatra's Needle. These monuments were built using similar engineering techniques to construct the original Philae obelisk thousands of years ago. The Kiosk of Trajan was built to honor Emperor Trajan, an important figure in Roman history. The kiosk also has an important religious significance as it sits atop the Philae temple, which was dedicated to Isis, the goddess of fertility and motherhood. This temple was once one of the most important sites in ancient Egypt and is still considered sacred by many people today. The Temple of Hathor is an ancient Egyptian temple at the Philae temple complex in Aswan, Egypt. The temple was dedicated to the goddess Hathor, the goddess of love, beauty, music, and joy. She was also associated with fertility and childbirth. The temple is believed to have been built during the Ptolemaic period, 332 to 30 BC, but the Roman Emperor Augustus later renovated it in 30 BC. The Gate of Hadrian is a large stone gateway at the Philae temple in Egypt. Emperor Hadrian constructed the gate during his visit to Egypt in 130 AD. It stands as a testament to the power and influence of the Roman Empire during this period in history. Other small temples or shrines dedicated to Egyptian deities include a temple to Imhotep and one to Hathor, as well as chapels to Osiris, Horus, and Nephthys. The temples had been practically intact since the ancient days, but with each inundation the situation worsened, and in the 1960s the island was submerged up to a third of the buildings all year round. In 1960 UNESCO started a project to try to save the buildings on the island from the destructive effect of the ever-increasing waters of the Nile. First, building 3 dams and creating a separate lake with lower water levels was considered. First of all, a large coffer dam was built, constructed of 2 rows of steel plates between which a 1 million cubic meters of sand was tipped. Any water that seeped through was pumped away. Prior to the inundation, a little west of Philae lay a larger island, anciently called Snem or Senmut, but now Biger. It is very steep, and from its most elevated peak affords a fine view of the Nile, from its smooth surface south of the islands to its plunge over the shelves of rock that form the first cataract. Philae, Biger, and another lesser island divided the river into 4 principal streams, and north of them it took a rapid turn to the west and then to the north, where the cataract begins. Biger, like Philae, was a holy island. Its ruins and rocks are inscribed with the names and titles of Amenhotep III, Rameses II, Psamtik II, Apries, and Amasis II, together with memorials of the later Macedonian and Roman rulers of Egypt. Its principal ruins consisted of the propylon and 2 columns of a temple, which was apparently of small dimensions, but of elegant proportions. Near them were the fragments of 2 colossal granite statues and also an excellent piece of masonry of much later date, having the aspect of an arch belonging to a church or mosque. Originally located on the island of Philae and later moved to the neighboring island of Agilkia, both south of Aswan, it is one of the most beautiful and best preserved temples of the Pharaonic era. To its architectural and ornamental charm, we can add the charm of its location, in the middle of an island. The only way to reach this temple is by boat as it is located on an island. If you go on your own and you are only interested in seeing the Temple of Philae, you can hire water cabs from Aswan. Another option is to book a guided tour in a pack that includes this temple, the Aswan Dam and the unfinished obelisk. Normal visiting hours for the Temple of Philae are from Monday to Sunday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. The schedule of the night shows varies according to the season, but they are generally held between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. hours. The entrance fee, if you go on your own, is 100 EGP for adults and 50 EGP for accredited students. If you are interested in hiring the light and sound show, you have to pay an additional 125 EGP. The price of the pack that includes the Temple of Philae, Aswan Dam and unfinished obelisk, depending on the agency you hire, ranges between 55 and 65 euros. Thanks for subscribing my channel. See you in Nubian village, Aswan. Goodbye.